1929, in Saratov, in an environment of restricted secrecy, a biological lab began its activity, in which military and scientists jointly tried to grow super creatures which would be able to carry out any orders, physically very hardy and surviving in all conditions. Raw materials for experiments were rats having unique flair and fantastic vitality. It was supposed that their front paws would be similar to the structure of the hand. It was important that scientists were confident that rats would find the beginnings of mind in created conditions. There were 3 cages in the lab. Once in 2 weeks, in one of the cage, a change of the season was imitated to rats would quickly evolved. In the second cage, a constant certain radiation level was supported. And in the third cage, a control group of rodents was simply placed. Experimental usually rested in the afternoon, but their night schedule was completed by the minute. Psychologists, geneticists and medics worked with rats. It was not much time to notice visual differences between military and common rats. Their heads became larger and front paws were similar to hands. Night trainings were continued till 1989, when decision to liquidate this biological lab was taken. All documentation and animals would be destroyed. But it wasn't succeeded to make it, because the same night laboratory super rats have gnawed through a thick concrete wall into the tunnel, passing under all 3 cages and connected with ventilation and ran away. Most of the employees of lab were sure that rats somehow learned that they would be killed, and that's why arranged escape. Today there are only half-ruined housings on the lab's place. Any document hasn't remained. There is no information about future of the last 189th generation of inhabitants of the cages. We know only one, they were both, males and females among appearing at freedom, and it means that they would breed at liberty. Almost right after closing Saratov confidential lab, newspapers began to write about emergence of huge rat mutants in Moscow metro. Then trackmen met them in tunnel, then the train brought them down, then it was found such tracks like huge rats walking on 2 paws. Many Moscow's diggers met rats of incredible size. It's not surprising that it takes place in Moscow metro, because there are a lot of collectors and drains joining with city storage and underground rivers. Also, there is an exit to the underpasses tunnels, which is under the capital's meat processing plants. Consequently, human created ideal conditions for rats' life, even without realizing it. Between utilities and tunnels, rats made their own civilization, highly organized society with its own orders, laws and hierarchy, where there was no place for strangers, and fight for survival made this animal progress all the time. According to the last scientific data, Homo sapiens have appeared on the planet 40,000 years ago. At this particular time, primitive Neanderthal man promptly turned to Homo sapiens. We didn't differ from modern. Recently, in desert Nebraska, a strange object was found. According to scientists, this object was no other than genetic lab in which Alliance made experiments with different animals. For introduction of the genome, Alliance recognized only 2 species of animals on the Earth, rodents and primacy. Both rats and monkeys easily underwent genetic operations. The main thing there was the evolution of the reason, which was transferred to their descendants. Improbable, but rats are very similar to people on the genetic level. The structure of their skeleton coincides with human to the smallest bones. Only bones of skull, tail and foot are exception. Pathologies of all bones tissues coincides with accuracy. People and rats are real equally. Today quantity of rats increases every year. It means perhaps that mankind's teeters on the brink. One wrong move and our civilization will be replaced by the new one. And today, Rato sapiens, a reasonable rat, is the most real applicant for a rank of new owner of the earth.
That's all that I wanted to tell you. And again, I'd ask you to share this video in networks. It really helps to promote this channel. And of course, don't forget to click like and subscribe. Thanks, bye.